This is a quick video about the Lost Colony. The Lost Colony is a myth that began in 1937. The myth was created by a fiction play to sell tickets, and the myth goes something like this. Over 100 English colonists went to Roanoke Island in 1587 and set up a colony. The governor of the colony, John White, went back to England for resupplies, and due to a lot of drama in Europe, could not return for 3 years. When he did finally return, there was no trace of the colony. Even the houses were gone. All that was left was a mysterious message carved on a tree that said croatoan, and no one has a clue what it meant, thus the Lost Colony. And this narrative sets up the legend of the Lost Colony nicely and is propped up by all kinds of fiction, from the Lost Colony play itself to American Horror Story or the Dare Stones or any of a other number of fiction works. This is, however, totally false. The 1587 voyage was actually the fourth English voyage to North Carolina, and Croatoan was an island 50 miles south of Roanoke that all the English voyages had been to and even lived on for months at a time in previous voyages. Croatoan was also the home to Manio, an Indian the English first met in 1584, 3 years before the Lost Colony, and he had been to England and back twice, serving as the colony's interpreter. The governor also told the colony to carve out the name of where they had relocated to, which is why he was not surprised to see a message carved out on a tree. You see, he knew they were going to leave Roanoke Island. One of the colonists, George Howe, had already been murdered by Indians from the adjacent mainland in a town called Dassocomonopo, which is today Man's Harbor. When this murder happened, John White actually sent 25 colonists to Croatoan with Manio to get help from that tribe who they'd been friends with for years. After hosting the English to a feast, the Croatoan agreed to talk to the mainland tribe called Sequotan and try to negotiate peace for the English. Instead, however, the Croatoan sacked the Sequotan village of Dascomonopo, Man's Harbor, on the mainland and gave the English all the corn and pumpkins that were left behind. All of this happened before the governor left to get resupplies. When the governor returned and saw the message of Croatoan, he knew exactly what it meant. Unfortunately, a storm and a near mutiny prevented him from reconnecting with the colony. No other attempts were ever made. Later, way later, new explorers noted that Hatteras tribe told them the colony came there, and that many of the Hatteras Indians had blue eyes and said their ancestors were white people who could speak out of a book and came on Sir Walter Raleigh's ships. This is before it was cool to be Indian, before Elizabeth Warren. Today, archaeologists have found some of the artifacts left behind by the colony on Hatteras Island, which you can see in National Geographic June of 2018, or you could see it on Discovery Channel, Travel Channel, or any of the other shows that have been down there and filmed what we found.